So you're looking into buying a house in Monterey County, California, and during your online Zillow doom scrolling, you've come across this seemingly affordable town called Castroville. So what's it like to live here? Why is it cheaper than everywhere else around here? And seriously, why is it cheaper than everywhere else around here? Well, you good sir are on the right video. Today we are going to be taking a deep dive into Castroville, California. We're going to take a brief look at the history and then onto the more important stuff like the quality and cost of the homes, the amenities, neighborhoods and schools, and we're going to get after it right now. Castroville, California, unincorporated area, population 7,500 and something, founded by Juan Bautista Castro following a Mexican land grant made 20 years previously. Basically, this dude combined two other land grants owned by his family to officially form the town in 1863. Castroville is located a few miles inland centrally here on the Monterey Bay. It's a little bit warmer because it's inland, and as you can see, it's a nice day today, about 74 degrees. It's also an important transportation location as it intersects the California highways 156 and 183. So it not only connects Monterey with Santa Cruz, but also provides a more direct route to the Bay Area from here, bypassing Salinas. Castroville is absolutely most well known for its artichoke crop and for the annual California Artichoke Festival, leading to its nickname as the Artichoke Center of the World. More on the Artichoke Festival later in the video. And before I forget, I'm Andy Woolfoot, they call me the British agent, realtor here in Monterey County. If you are thinking of making a move out here, please feel free to get in touch. This is kind of the whole point of the video, so don't be shy. My phone number should be on the screen and all my information is in the description below. Oh, and also moving to Monterey channel, like, subscribe, bell. Okay, so before we get into the more interesting stuff, I do have to do a quick history lesson. Give me like 45-second stops. So back in 1860, just before the town was officially founded, Chinese contractors had established a presence here and were instrumental in clearing the nearby wetlands and marshes in order to ready the fertile lands to grow crops. For decades, the town sustained a thriving Chinese population, mainly employed in the agricultural sector. In fact, in 1883, a fire actually destroyed the entire Chinatown area, but it was rebuilt over the coming years, and there were as many as 15 Chinese companies farming sugar beets locally, which was known as the sugar beet rush of the time. So the Chinese population in Castroville continued to grow, and in 1891, Sam Key and Jim Lee purchased a lot in Castroville, marking the first time any Chinese had owned real estate in the Monterey Bay area. However, eventually the California Alien Land Law of 1913 was passed, which prohibited aliens ineligible for citizenship from owning agricultural land or possessing long-term leases over it. Now, this new law was clearly meant to discourage immigration and unsurprisingly created an inhospitable environment among the contractors working here in Monterey Bay area, many of whom built this country, by the way. Long story short, the Chinese contractors began to leave the county, most moving up to San Francisco's Chinatown. All right, I'm gonna see if the finger snap teleportation thing works. Nice. It's not working yet. I've been told you need 1,000 subscribers for that to happen, so I'm just gonna have to cut to the next scene. Boringly like this. So it was the Spanish settlers who first brought the artichoke to California in the early 1920s, firstly in the nearby town of Half Moon Bay, and in 1922, some bloke called Andrew Malera planted the first artichoke shoots here in Castroville. The crop was so successful, within 5 years there were over 50 growers and 12,000 acres of artichokes growing in Castroville and the Monterey Bay area. Marilyn Monroe came here in 1948 as a young aspiring model who was the last-minute replacement for a big promotional jewelry sale in the town, and she hung around the bay for a week or so. Here she is getting a sash as the California Artichoke Queen. Now, the town's famous annual Artichoke Festival was first held in 1959 to honor their iconic crop, and the first Artichoke Queen was Sally DeSante Hebert, crowned in 1961. Not gonna lie, I would really love it if one of my daughters ended up becoming the Artichoke Queen one day. I have accepted the fact that, like my England call-up, it's never gonna happen for me. In 1963, the giant artichoke behind me was erected near a restaurant of the same name. I'm told it's the largest artichoke statue in the world, and I've no reason not to believe that. Okay, so let's get into the beef, and the beef isn't artichokes, it is real estate. Now, I did mention in the intro that home prices in Castroville are cheaper than many of the surrounding towns, probably due to lack of amenities of a small town of under 10,000 residents and it being equidistant from the tourist draws of Monterey to the south and Santa Cruz to the north. Now, even for a town of around 1,600 households, there's been few homes sold in Castroville in the last 12 months. Only 17 listings on the market, just 2 of them are actively for sale today. Now, within the town itself, you can get a typical 3-bedroom home for around $600,000 to $800,000, depending on the size and condition of the property. Most of the homes standing today were built in the 1950s and 60s, but quite a few new streets have been added onto the outskirts of the town in the last 25 years, so there are some newer houses available too. Another reason that the prices might be a bit cheap around here, I've noticed as I've been driving around today, there's quite a lot of multi-unit properties, and of course multi-unit properties mean affordable housing. The more affordable housing there is also going to relate to cheaper home prices in general. Plus on top of that, Castroville does have room on its borders to expand into, so any private developers looking to build a few extra homes on the outskirts of town probably aren't going to have too many problems getting planning permission. So these typical homes that you can see behind me within the town, they're going to have lots of around 5,000 to 7,000 square feet, but the surrounding areas contain a number of larger rural properties, typically with at least an acre or two, maybe even 5 acres for the bigger ones. If you're looking online, these homes are going to have a Castroville address but aren't located within the town boundaries, kind of further up to the north, and they are going to set you back around $900,000 plus. The most expensive listing with a Castroville address on the market today in early September 2024 is this belter of a property at 16143 Castroville Boulevard. It is a 4-bed, 4-bath, 3,200 square foot sprawling custom home built in 1985, priced at 1.5 million, down from 1.6 million, the original listing price. Just to talk about the town itself quickly, Castroville doesn't really have a designated downtown area, but obviously the main road through the town is where you're going to find a lot of the independent businesses. There's a few restaurants, there's some bars, even a place that calls itself a nightclub. And at the northern point of the town and a lot of the east, you will find the industrial zones. A lot of the businesses there are of course related to agriculture and produce. So as home prices here are more affordable, it is popular with buyers who have young families. So let's talk about schools real quick. Castroville is served by the North Monterey County Unified School District. The schools here are Castroville Elementary and North Monterey County Middle School, located here in the town. The high school is located a few miles up the road on Castroville Boulevard. And always I recommend checking out greatschools.org for more information about school performance. Now we've just got time for a couple of reviews on living in Castroville from the good people of the internet, which you know by now means I'll be bringing out my best, most extreme British accent. I'm in love with this little town. I grew up here, almost everyone knows each other, and it is a safe and calm place to live. I enjoy the food in this town, but I would enjoy better parks and better streets and roads in the town because I feel they are outdated. If we can have a place to hang out in the evenings for the youth that would also be safe at night, I think that would make the town more enjoyable. So that last reviewer mentioned the state of the roads in the town. I'm going to go ahead and agree with him there. I've been driving around the last couple of hours and I did notice that in the residential zones and particularly the industrial area, the roads are kind of bad. They're not like riddled with potholes, but this place should definitely be on the list for improvements in the near future. Okay, now back to the reviews. Castroville is a very small town and is very welcoming. It doesn't have much to see, but it is a chill and warm place to go to. Also has a lot of little places to eat at, like Chinese food, Mexican food, fast food restaurants. They have it all in such a small place. Okay, so that's the end of the video. If you are looking to find out more about living in Castroville or Monterey County in general, please feel free to reach out to me, Andy Woolfoot, the British agent, realtor here in Monterey County. I get calls, texts and emails every day from people looking to relocate. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, please feel free to get in touch and I will do everything possible to give you a smooth move to the Central Coast. Well, that's all from me. I'm going home for a cup of tea. See you on the next video. I've been walking around for like 5 minutes. I have absolutely no idea where I parked my car. The whole town is like on a grid and I think it was on Rico Street somewhere, but I'm hot and I need to go home. Where the hell is my car? All right, find it finally. Heading home for that cup of tea.